Did you know there's a cut bonus item from Galactic Conquest that allowed you to always see the enemy's position on the map? It never made it past the beta version, but the PSP port of the game does have this feature turned on at all times, even when Bothan spies are invisible. You also can't go into the capital ship interior rooms with the vital systems, just like in the demo, and even uses some of the same early hero animations and cut game mode objectives, leading some to think that the PSP port uses a pre-release version of the game. But the main differences are actually because of the PSP's hardware limitations. In fact, they completely removed the story mode and replaced it with challenges, which are 3 smaller missions. The Imperial Enforcer has you hunt down the resisting native inhabitants of different planets, by far the most funnest of the 3. Rogue Assassin being a clone bounty hunter tasked to complete skirmishes for different military factions, which is the only time in the series we play as a jet trooper with a standard rifle. And finally, Rebel Smuggler, which is basically just a dragged out capture the flag. Each mission allows you to be a hero respective to the faction you're on, and is the only time across all versions where we're allowed to play as a hero in space, which is pretty cool. But sadly, the PSP version also has 7 out of the 18 ground battle maps removed from the game, leaving even less content for instant action, even though 3 of those maps have code hidden in the game's files that are completely playable. This also meant that the Galactic Conquest board was a lot emptier, despite still having a faint aura around where the cut planets should be. Even the DLC map Renvar Citadel was meant to be exclusive for the PSP before being moved to the Xbox. Plus, some of the available maps in-game were sized down, having specific areas cut out, like how the conference and control room on Mustafa is completely removed, and some prop differences on Polis Massa, as well as an obvious decrease to visibility in comparison to other versions, making most maps feel like it's always cloudy weather. Although it does work with planets like Megiddo, Dagobah, and Kashyyyk, it looks terrible on other planets. Which sucks because Elite Squadrons, also on the PSP, has 12 appropriately sized maps that aren't plagued with foggy weather. It basically looks the same as Battlefront 2 in terms of resolution and texture, and the loading distances are so much better. But to be fair, other than a few model differences and the obvious downgrade in resolution, most of the original game is here, just pocket-sized. Each match starts with 75 tickets instead of 150. All hunt modes are available with the exception of Geonosis, and thankfully, Heroes vs Villains includes all heroes, since some, like Mace Windu and Count Dooku, can't actually be played on their map-specific planets. But one of the funnest version exclusive features is the AI's ability to play as a hero. It's strange why this wasn't active for PS2 or PC, but honestly was so cool always trying to find hilarious ways to kill them. But by far the biggest difference between all versions is the team sizes. PSP only allows a team of 10, while console has 16 and PC goes up to 32. Though, there's an exclusive game mode for the PC version called XL, which allows you to increase the units to the hundreds, becoming an actual war zone and is by far the most chaotic thing in the game. This game mode only has 3 maps, all of which are generally large open fields that can hold this much bots without feeling too crowded. And although it's cool seeing this much stuff on screen, it does cause the game to crash more often, which is probably why this mode isn't included in any other version, as the console and PSP ports are already struggling as it is. But although there isn't too much differences between the handheld, console, and PC versions, there is a lot of cut content from the pre-release versions hidden in-game. Like this Phase 2 clone pilot helmet that was based off the design we briefly saw in the TV micro series, but was later changed to match Episode 3's appearance. The beta and demo versions also had cut hero skins, characters, as well as gameplay features. Find out more in this video here.